Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, the Pentagon unveiled its first Trump-era strategy for cybersecurity earlier this week, naming Russia and China among the main threats. From the risk to critical infrastructure and financial institutions to the democratic process itself, modern warfare and defense is entering a whole new realm. We've been talking to a former director of America's National Security Agency about the age of cyber warfare. From the rubble of 9/11, America faced a reckoning with the failure of its own intelligence. In response, President Bush signed the Patriot Act to strengthen America's security apparatus, but it led to concerns about surveillance and privacy. Concerns that were confirmed when Edward Snowden leaked details about the National Security Agency's mass surveillance program on American citizens. That then led to NSA Director General Keith Alexander to defend the program.
These programs, together with other intelligence, have protected the U.S. and our allies from terrorist threats across the globe.
Alexander accused Snowden of being manipulated by Russian intelligence and said that Russia wanted to diminish America's standing abroad. That campaign was waged through cyber warfare in the 2016 election, with American intelligence stating the Russian government hacked Democratic Party emails and promoted fake news. But President Trump has consistently questioned Russian meddling, most notably while standing alongside Vladimir Putin himself.
I have great confidence in my intelligence people, but I will tell you that President Putin was extremely strong and powerful in his denial today.
As the president continues to question foreign interference, many U.S. politicians remain concerned about election security in the run-up to the midterms. General Alexander, Vladimir Putin here, the man in the frame, is he, as far as America is concerned, as far as you're concerned, the biggest cyber villain out there?
I think they pose the greatest overall threat in cyberspace for sure. They have tremendous talent, and they have objectives and use cyberspace as an element of national power.
Do you have any doubt whether the Russians meddled in the 2016 presidential elections or not?
No, I don't.
Do you think they're going to try again in the midterm elections coming up in a few weeks?
I think they will, because it's in their best interest to understand who's voting for whom, what's going on, and how they can impact something that might help them in the future.
So from a cybersecurity point of view, would you go so far as to say that their meddling got Donald Trump elected?
No, I would not. I think that's a jump that's not logical.
And when they meddle in cyberspace, when they're trying to interfere in our election processes, is it an efficient weapon?
It is. It's a very efficient weapon. They are increasingly using cyber as an element of power. And so meddling in elections, going after money, is all in their national interest and something that they will do.
The armies of the First World War were not ready for the impact caused by the machine gun that fundamentally changed warfare in that conflict 100 years ago.
That's
Could
right.
the same thing happen with cyber warfare?
Absolutely. In fact, what I'm worried about is now cyber and where we are. That's the first element of the future war, because of the damage they could do to a country's infrastructure. And I think it's defensible, but we haven't created the defense to do it. It's like you brought out the machine gun. You know, we're used to going to war in one way, and now you have this new tool, and we haven't practiced, we haven't created the infrastructure that we need.
So if we did have a conflict fought along those lines, no one should be surprised by that.
That's right.
But are we doing enough, is Britain doing enough, as far as you know, to guard ourselves against this kind of attack?
I don't think any country is doing enough. We are unprepared.
But we're surviving all these attacks, aren't we? The health service is up and running again. You know, BA sorted out, we hope, you know, its issues. So are we actually dealing with the threat remarkably well?
So there's this great saying, they say, there's two types of companies, those that have been hacked and know it, and those that have been hacked and don't know it.
Right. But everyone is being hacked.
That means everyone's being hacked. And so what's that tell you? It says the way we're approaching it's not working.
And just finally, North Korea, Kim Jong-un versus Vladimir Putin, you know, they're both allegedly up to, you know, their own levels of cyber interference, cyber meddling, cyber warfare. Who's more scary?
the North Korean leader is more scary because he's one that you can't predict what he's going to do.
Even after the recent love-in with Donald Trump?
Yes, even now. I think that's an actor that I'm really concerned about because his nation's future is on the line. And if that agreement falls apart, they don't have the money, and he will react perhaps irrationally.
General Alexander, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I've been